Well, I guess it's all the colors. Come on a carousel ride with the Holy Mother. Hey, get your horse. She doesn't stop. She keeps on going. You'll take you right to Jesus. Watch and see. Watch and see. It's not me. I'm playing the part of a saint today. Charbel. I played him last time with he had a black hood on. This time I put a gray one on. My hair is too long. It gets down my eyes. No, you gotta play the part. I'm playing the part right now. I'm gonna make a video right in front of your eyes. I'm gonna make this video. All right. St. Patrick's Day. I used to always wear green on St. Patrick's Day. He's a favorite saint of mine. I'm an Irishman. You know? I'm an Italiano too. And I got a little French guy in there, snuck in there. I'll tell you how he did it too. I tell you that in my other movies. I'm not going to go into all that. But it's on other films. My heritage or whatever you want to call it. But I'm a professional amateur. Voila. Professional amateur. It's like an organized chaos. I've got organized chaos down. You want to come in to hang out with me, you want to ride your carousel horse? Round and around and around. I saw this guy, talking about humor, St. Patrick. I saw this guy one time, you know, and he had a wart right on the end of his nose. Right, it was a big one too. It was a real big one. And he come up to me, and when he looked at me, and I looked over at him, and I go, I couldn't believe my eyes. Why don't he get that taken off? You know, and I'm looking again. And then finally, I started looking like this. I said, I can't hang out with you, man. You're making my eyes go cross. Your center point. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that wart on the end of your nose. Driving me nuts. Get it fixed. The next time I saw him, he had it fixed. That's a true story. That's a true story. Yeah, he lives right on my street. He fixes lawnmowers and all kinds of small engines and all that. But he had it work. How the heck did you get that? You got any girlfriends? Do you have any girlfriends? Oh, I was wondering because he's lived out in back, you know, he bought the house, you know, he's living by himself. He had a girlfriend when he first moved in. Then she took off. I guess it was when his wart started growing on the end of his nose. Oh, God. Subtle humor. A little humor, a little Irishness in me. I'm a little crazy man. But I'm a musician. Over 50 years. I never professional. I never played in bars or for money or anything like that. The only time I ever played for money was I played my last retreat with the Franciscans, and they offered us money. And my wife and I, we took it. And that was the last time I did my ministry. I thought, well, maybe God developed me into, I'm going to do professional stuff like go around, do retreats and play prayer meetings, big, huge prayer meetings with a lot of people and stuff. But I got this little Papa Do today. Every day I wake up, I look different. I'm not the same. My song, the song that I'm singing right now, I've sang at least a dozen times. You can look through all my tapes. I'm discovering where they're stashing my tapes I can't find. Like this one is going to go to probably that spot. But I just made one and I'm going to play it. I found it finally. And I'm going to play it and then I'm going to sing to it. I'm going to add to it. I don't know the harmonica part. I'm going to add a little bit more to that. My voice. And I'm going to do some lead guitar. I'm going to try. I got to hook up my GT1. I got to get a different sound when I got here. I can try it with this sound. And then I can come back and try it with another sound. But right now I'm all set up, so I'm not going to disturb everything. The thing is setup time. When you're doing setup time and disruptions all the time, the cat, the woodpecker, something, a commercial, something like that. Somebody's got the TV up too high right now. So, turn down the TV, please.
Turn down the TV, please.
Okay, I'm making a video. Now, I'm doing these videos not to make money or be famous or anything. I'm trying to raise money for the Kenya babies being eaten by crocodiles. I tell the story about little Joey. Mom tells him to go down, get a pail of water, a bucket of water. He says, okay, Mom, and he gets the bucket and skips down with his sister holding hands to the river. You got to get a bucket of water. Well, you can't get it right up next to the riverbank because it's mucky. Everybody's washing their clothes, and you got to go out in the middle of the river. And it's a drought, and the river's down. But there's animals in that river, vicious dinosaur animals, big as my truck, weigh as much as my truck. I got a Ranger. Ford Ranger. So, but anyways, so they go down there and he said, I can't get the water next to the shore. I gotta go out. So the water level's down because there's a drought. So they go wading out and they get their bucket of water and they come back and they give it to Mom. But all the while they're doing that, oh, you won't believe it. I had to buy a book with dinosaurs in it because the look that I saw and the miracle that Holy Mother worked in my life also with dinosaurs. I had a dinosaur almost eat me in the jungles down in Florida. I was stupid. I was in the jungles with a bow and arrow. And I was good with it though. Oh, I've knocked partridges out of trees with it. That's how good I can focus in with it. And because I shot it all the time, I was in competitions and all that. I was never great, but I could hit the target at a decent distance. So I'm down in Florida in this big pool area called the Tananalihachi River, where the St. John comes and meets into it, and there's a big pool there. And they got eddies off it, and in those eddies, there's other pools. And each one of those pools has a predator hiding down under the water. I know because I went into one and I found this way out in, 5 miles out from where I lived. I lived in Star City, which is 30 miles outside of Orlando, and right midway between Cape Kennedy and Orlando. I lived there, called Star City. And I rented a place there, and they had a property in the back. And if you live there, you can go hunt, fish, everything. So I decided, hey, I'm going to go hunting. So I get my bow, get my camouflage on. I mean, you can't tell me, you don't know what I am if you've never seen a human being before. And I'm all camouflaged up and everything. And I got a bow. I look like something standing in the woods with horns to somebody who hasn't seen human beings, especially a couple-year-old deer or something like that. Because that's what happened to me. I get out of the truck. I'm all camouflaged out. I go walking down the pathway to the river. And in the river, the Tanialanahatchee River, there was an eddy, a bunch of it, a 3-stream eddy coming into it. And it was a big pool. And I noticed, wow, there's a sign of game everywhere. So I go in and I'm walking around and I stand there and I'm waiting, I'm listening. And all of a sudden I hear a plop. What? I turn alongside me and I look. It's a doe. She saw me. It's rutting season. She saw me. And she didn't recognize what I was, but I had horns. And I guess she was looking for horns. Oh my goodness. Jumped right out of the woods and came right up to me and looked me in the face. And I didn't move or anything, and she got spooked and then she took off. Though I don't know. It went right over my head because I didn't think about what was going on until years and years later because I'm just a young guy, I'm just hunting. I didn't want a doe anyways. I wanted a big buck, and I saw a big buck. There was an 8-pointer, and he was huge. I had been out there scouting, and he ran down alongside the river and jumps across the river onto the other side of the bank. And I'm standing there, and there's a big stump there, a huge stump. So I get down next to it. I'm waiting there. And I got up, and I says, well, maybe I'll move away from this stump. Maybe I'm too close to the river. So I got up, and I went in the center of the island. It's an island surrounded by the river water and all the streams coming in. And it's like an island. And right in the center of the island, I'm standing there, and sure enough, here comes Mommy with her 6 little baby piggies. What? Black and white hog in Florida? Wild hog? It's black and white? Looks like it belongs on a farm or something, But no, they got wild. They got loose and they went out and they bred with the native inhabitants down there. They got a lot of hogs, brown and black. The game warden kidded me one time. We got hogs. We got them. And we got them there. We were skinning them out. We're going to eat the fillets off the spine and all that. This tenderloins and all that. And the game warden comes over and he's looking and he's going, oh, I see you got a black hog and a brown hog. And he says, yeah. Nice. And I says, I saw a black and white hog when I was in there. I was just getting off the topic right. But anyway, so he goes, well, I hate to tell you, there's no open season on brown hogs. There's black hogs. And he's looking at me. I'm looking at him and I'm going, a hog's a hog, man. What are you talking about? So anyways, to get back, when I turned around, he's laughing. He's smiling. I see him when he's going around. He's messing with me. There wasn't you could shoot any hogs. It was a hog season. He was just messing with me. So the guys are like that. And I like humor. But anyways, to get back to the mama pig and her 6 piggies, and I'm standing there with my bow and arrow, and she's looking at me face to face, not more than 10 feet away from me. And she's got her hair up, and her babies are under her, 3 on each side. It was weird, How did they all know to go to 3 on each side? Well, they must go for protection. So she had her hair up, and she's looking at me. The smell. You can't recognize me. I got camouflage on. She's never seen me. I got horns. I'm big. So what did I pretend? I pretend like I was a buck. And bucks warn like this. They stomp their foot. And then they go. Or something like that. Just get away. I don't want any problems. Get out of here. Especially to a hog, with babies and all that. So I thought that that's what it would think if I did that. So I did it. I had my bow fully drawn, and I was getting tired because I don't have a compound. I got one of those regular. I'm an instinctive hunter. I'm deadly at 20 yards, but I'm an instinctive hunter. So I have those compound bows now, but not back then. I was hunting with a camouflaged. I forgot what the name of the bow was, but anyways, I have my bow drawn back, and I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and I said, "Mommy, I'm gonna put this between your two eyeballs if you charge." And I stomped my foot, boom, boom, and I snorted. And she's looking at me. And then she just turned around and walked away with her 6 little piggies. I showed her mercy. I mean, some other guy, a narcissist or something, didn't care about any. I don't care about baby piggies. Shoot her between the eyeballs. Well, the meat isn't really good when the mother's suckling. The meat on a hog isn't that great, I hear. That's what I hear. I don't know. But I let her slide. I showed her mercy. Mercy in the jungle. And the saying goes, if you show mercy, mercy shall be shown to you. So I'm back. She walked off, and I went back into my, I'm going to get that big 8-pointer, man. So I go down, and I'm stooping down, go back, heading over to that stump, and a bee the size. I never saw a bee. It was as big as a hummingbird. It zipped me, zipping me. It had my attention. Believe me, I could hear it too. I just followed it, and it zipped, and then it followed the river around the island, and then on the other side, about 20 yards or so, there was a hog fence, about 8 inches off the ground. And I noticed the bee went down, and he was buzzing, and he went down and he touched the biggest alligator I've ever seen in Florida on the head. He touched it on the head. And I saw that. I looked, and I recognized there's a big, huge alligator sneaking up on me. But he couldn't get past the hog fence. The hog fence was keeping him back. The bank was muddy, too. And he couldn't get, he was trying to sneak up so he could charge me, knock me in the water, and grab me and just go limp. And I'm a dead man. That's the way they do it. That's how they get the deer and the hogs and whatever else they eat down there. Good God, they got anaconda now down here or something. The snake is bigger than my head. Thickness, bigger than my head. They could swallow me whole. I saw one with a whole gator down inside. But let's not get off. Here I am in Florida. I'm a New York guy. I hunt in the woods. I've hunted ever since I was a kid. I hung out on farms. I herded cows. I milked cows. I fed cows. I cut hay. I did all the farming stuff. I didn't live on a farm, but I always wanted to go, and I helped for free. Nobody ever paid me. They were glad to see me when it was harvest time, being on the tractor and cutting down all the grass and everything. They liked to see me around. I was just young, 13, 14, something like that, back then. So I was brought up on a farm. And to get back to that bee, going down and kissing that gator on his noggin and bouncing off it. He went down and he bounced off of it. Now after I started thinking about everything, and you think about it too, here I am in the middle of the woods. Not in the woods, a jungle. It's a jungle in Florida. I mean, you go in the jungle hunting, and you're being hunted. Believe me. I know. I lived it. I hunted it. I squirrel hunted it. I artifacts hunted it. I looked for arrowheads, hunted it. I did a lot of stuff environmentally down in Florida. When I went to junior college, I was the guy who did the first nuclear power plant test in Tarpon Springs. I tested how much grass was in a square yard and how many species of fish was in the bay when they opened up the plant. And 10 years later, they'll go back and check all my findings. I got an A for the course. Dr. Sims, his name was. He said, "Why didn't you call me? I would have went." I would have loved to have done that. And I don't know. I'm not a, I don't know how to, I was off on my own, my wife, and I had a next door neighbor that was a hunting buddy. He was a fisherman. He's deep dive, 100 feet down he could go. He was the Florida State spearfishing champion, too. But he has an alias. I not bring up anybody's names or all that stuff, but he was going to college. He's the one that incited me to go to college, because I was living down there looking for what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, and God's will for me. And I was religious. Anyways, I had a lot of religious friends. I got into the Cursillo movement down there. I'm a Cursillista. De Colores, everyone, if you're a de colorer. But, and then again, I had we had the color of the rainbow. The rainbow was our thing, right? So I had that on my fender. I was at church. I was going through and she stops me. A lady stops me and says, "Oh, de Colores, de Colores." I stopped. I thought, "Oh, are you Cursista?" She says, "Yes, I made mine, blah, 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 blah." She says, "I saw because of your sign on the back bumper." And I said, "Oh, the rainbow?" Yeah. And she says, "You know about the rainbow, though, don't you?" And I says, What? And, "Well, it's a sign of being a homosexual." I said, "What? It's a sign of being a homosexual?" Yeah, they stole the rainbow from God. Now it's their logo. What? God put up with that? That's a covenant between God and man. The rainbow. A great flood and everything. That's the story. It's a metaphor, though. But I'm not worried, because God is all the colors of the universe. The rainbow is only the basic colors, the base colors. God is all the colors of the rainbow. Oh, man. Watch this. Watch this. Look at that, will you? All the colors. That's my light therapy. I get this. I bought this at, I'm not going to tell you where I got it. But I bought it. You can find them. They're out there. I might tell you where I got it. Let me soften up a little bit while I'm making this, okay? Then I'll tell you how I found this and how I got it. I've had it for over a year, though. I sit here and I meditate and I just stare. I'm not looking for any vision or anything. It's just all the colors. They go into my brain. And I had a daydream about Jesus. And he looked at me, and I looked at his beard. And his beard was, every whisker was a different color. And I says, how did God condition my mind so I could see something like that? Voila, here you go. I stare at this all the time. So when I see the rays coming off the light, let me see if I can make rays come off this light. No, you have to look at it. I mean, I don't get a yellow glow, but if you look at it with your own eyes and you squint a little bit, you get a beard of every color that you can think of emanating out from the ball, from the globe. And it goes down and it points straight down. And every little ray, I'm looking at it right now, they're all a different color. Every little ray. And it looks like a beard. So when I had the daydream about Jesus, and every color of the rainbow, and every hair was a different color in his beard. Man, that was just a nice feeling. And I got my big, I don't want to get anything on here. but my stuff, because somebody's going to be, you use my stuff, I'm suing you. Good God. Who knows what's going to happen? But I'm a member, full-fledged member of YouTube, so I got to be covered. And this is my corner, my Jesus corner. It's his corner. You know, they asked me, who's your trainer? I said, Jesus. And then the next time I saw the papers, it says, Bill Nixon says God is in his corner. And that took it from there. That was 53 years ago. And God was in my corner. I got the whole story. And you can check my videos out. But let's get back to music. All right. Now, I can't find my tuner for my guitar. I wanted to play some leads. I'll try a couple leads on my guitar, but I'm going to add a little bit more harmonica. I'm going to set this up here. Excuse my amateurism. I've got to set up now. Most of your time, setup time. See, if you don't set up good, you got to be ready. And I'm always late. I don't know why. Well, anyways, what is on the camera? What's it looking at? Oh, I know what it is. I got. Hey, how you doing? Oh boy. But I got my glasses. See what I did with my glasses on. I designed these. I took the stems off. And because they're falling off my head. Every time I bend over, they're falling off on the ground. Can't do nothing with them, so I'm going to invent something. So, I mean, this is my invention. I got a shoestring, cut a long one, cut it in half. Then I got one of those little tie things you put on the back of your hair. Tie it, you know, they're little round circle tie things. And I wrapped it around here a couple times, 4 times, I think. So now it slides. It was sliding. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Oh, here we go. Hey, how it slides up and down. I didn't realize that was on there. Wow, it slides. And then, so what you do is you put it, you take it, put it on your nose. Oh, it's too short. Come on, yeah. Put it on your nose, and you flop it over your hat or whatever you got on. Let's see. This is my character. I just did this for a character here. So I'm a psychiatrist. If he were to look at my films, he would go, "Oh my God, how many personalities does he have?" I'm an actor. I'm an amateur actor. And I'm a musician. And I'm an amateur musician. And I enjoy it. And I didn't make a dime. I was in a movie years and years ago, a bit part, All-American Boy with John Voight. I got some money for doing that. A bit part. And they paid for my lunch, and I sat around all day until it was time. Hey, get over here. I told my brother, asked my brother to walk around in his underwear. This producer, he was a funny guy, I guess. But he wanted my brother to walk around in his underwear to make it more realistic, because they were doing the fight, for John Voight, All-American Boy, and they wanted my brother to walk around in his underwear. And it's our first time, they came into the gym. I mean, we walked out after they came in. We walked out, were they going to make movie stars out of us? Oh my goodness, we just got here. But anyways, we're all legends in our own mind. But my brother Mike, he had the black eye. He played the part, and he was right in there. He played that part. He was in that movie too. He's in a lot of movies. He played bit parts. He's a part-time actor. He knew all the big guys too. Sylvester Stallone. Oh, he's got pictures. all of his buddies, Sean Penn, Chris Penn, you know, he had a lot of friends out there. As they followed his boxing, he was on TV fighting all the time, every week. Mike Nixon's fighting, blah, 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 blah. Bam, 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 bam. They call him the California knockout artist. Everybody had his attention. And I go into some of my other videos, how he got ripped when he got to be number one. Oh, man. He just didn't have the management. He had the heart, he had the talent, he had everything but the management. The management was corrupt. So, I'm not going to tell you the story, but ended up not only one management, but a couple managements ripped him off. Took all of his money from his films, all the royalties and all that stuff overseas. He had fights overseas, sold them. He doesn't have a dime from it. And his trainer, the one that did it to him, he's dead. He was in his 80s. He's trying to get as much money as he could. I don't know. He's going to leave it to somebody. He must have had a lot of relatives or something. Who knows? I don't know. But he took my brother for everything. Just left him flat because my brother left him flat. He got mad at him and he went and got another trainer. And so this guy did the job. There's nothing you can do about it. And nothing you can do. He's got a story. He can tell you his story. He's a good storyteller. I'm his older brother. But he's got the same blood, the same intelligence and everything. He didn't go, after what happened to him with the number one fight in the world and all that, he smartened up real quick and saw what was happening. Money. Money controls. And he didn't have any. But sometimes money can get fools. Because they didn't know about him coming out as the American battleship in Africa after their champion. And he went 5 rounds. Boom, 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 non-stop until the African ship went down. And they called him in the papers the next day. The American battleship came out with both barrels until Kurt Stein hit the mat face first. Wham! And when you knock out the champion, you're the champion. But they put it under the rug. Didn't tell nobody, didn't show the films, didn't come over to America. Nobody knew nothing about it. That fight was amazing. You would have saw Mike. He's the next world champion. There's no doubt about it. The way life goes sometimes is this isn't fair. And that's what happened to my brother. If he would have had big bucks behind him, he would have been champion. No doubt about it. But when you're a poor boy, he tries to make it up to number one. You gotta fight a lot more fights outside the ring than you do inside. And I'm telling you the truth. I was there. Thick and thin from the beginning to the end. You go to my brother's station. He's got IrishMikeNixon.com, something like that, or California Knockout Artist, Mike Nixon. That's when he was number 5 in the world. Now he's an old man like me. And all we got is memories. Memories of how it could have been, and memories of how it was, and memories of how it should have been. But we got ripped. I got ripped. I fought the Navy champion. Luckily, I didn't win because I would have turned pro and not gone to college. But I fought the Navy champion in Troy, New York, and I decided I was going to show everybody I knew how to box. Because I bombed, weaved, moved, jab, 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 hook, hook, moving around for 2 minutes. Then the round was in. And we went 3 rounds. And I did that for 3 rounds. And he couldn't get set for a jab. I had him so worried because I had big arms and everything. And I had knocked somebody out really bad in that area. The guy, they took him out. He couldn't get up and walk out of the ring. They had to pick him up and carry him out because I broke probably all of his ribs and everything. I was a middleweight and I hit like a heavyweight. You know, you always hear the story, oh yeah, he's tough, but you should have seen his brother. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't want to bloat myself up or anything, but God took care of me physically just as good as he took care of my brother. And I was strong and mean, and I could run fast and hit real hard. I was going to be a fighter, 9th grade dropout. Then Jesus came into my life. He put his hand on my shoulder. He said, Billy, he says, man, you got to get off the street. It's looking bad. I said, Father, I said, I've been kicked out of the house. I don't even have a place to go and eat or anything. I don't know. I go down to the bus stations and I crawl up inside where the toilets are because it costs a dime to get in. I don't have a dime. So I crawl underneath and I sit there until it's morning or something, until it's warm around. It's in the wintertime. Don't get out of here. You eat too much. My dad, MB. Oh, he was a hard man. I don't know how my mother stayed sane. She's still alive. My mother is still alive in California in a nursing home, Frank Sinatra's nursing home. He built for his mother. Has a indoor chapel, and they have mass there, and the nuns. It's a beautiful place for her. She was brought up in an orphanage, and now she ended up back in the nursing home. That's from beginning to end. And she went into the nursing home, I don't know how long ago. She's been there a while. She loves it there. It's like her home now. It's out in California, Glendale, somewhere out there. But I forgot the name of it. If I thought I could remember, but I got Parkinson's too. I got short-term memory loss in its early stages. I'm praying that God will help me. And why are you giving me Parkinson's? And I'm realizing I'm not dwelling a lot on my past anymore. I've forgotten a lot of my past. I don't think about it. The only thing I think about now is God and Holy Communion and confession and praying and singing and working in my wood shop, building things, raising money for my fund down in Florida. No, not Florida. Kenya. I keep on remembering Florida. I had a ministry down there too, St. Leo College. That's where I played guitar. That's where our book was written down there. I got a copy of it. It's on my other tapes. We're going to revise it. That's what I'm doing now. And I played this song, I would say, almost a dozen times. Practices and all that. And way more than that when I didn't video, the ones I didn't video, which were the better ones. Oh, when I'm praying to God, oh man, I get into it. It's beautiful. But I don't video myself praying to God. I mean, I had a prayer meeting where I had a white shirt on and I sat there and I sang along with the song and all that. But that's like a prayer meeting. Yeah, that's how I was demonstrating how you could use this song for a prayer meeting. A part of a prayer meeting. Doesn't have to be the whole thing. And I've got a whole bunch of other songs that I'm going to sing I'm going to bring up the oldies and goodies. I'm going to show you what I used to do way back 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Oh my goodness, 50 years ago. How old am I going to get, Father? I'm hoping that you give me another 70. I had 70, right? But the next 70 will be just you and I and the Holy Family, Mother, Father, Holy Mother, St. Joseph, all the saints, everybody you invite. And we'll do it. I'll write songs and sing songs, and you inspire it. You come in and take over, because I'll surrender to you, and you just take over and do what you want. I'm not saying I'm God. I'm not. God said this. If you clean your house, my Father and I will return and make our abode with you. You will be our hands and feet, voice and song. They'll use you. They use saints, people who want to be saints. I'm a sinner. But you want to know what's good about that? Saints are sinners that keep on trying. That's the secret. We can't make it. And Satan's way too smart. He's a lot smarter than us. He sets traps. I got a video of a trap he set for me just last week. Put me in a wheelchair. I told you about it. It's on my video. Lumber company unknowingly, probably set a trap. I went out, touched the board, and a big, huge 4x4, 16-foot pressure treated log rolled off the top of a 5.5-foot pile of wood onto my foot. Oh, God in heaven, what a pain that was. Oh, I hobbling into the house, laying down, as soon as I broke my foot. And she come running in, she's looking at it, and her eyes went, oh my God, the top of my foot was as big as a grapefruit on the top of my foot. The hump of your foot goes like this. On the hump of it, that was like a grapefruit. Huge. I says, what? Did I bust it? Or is there a vein broke or something? What's going on? So I looked at it, and she's looking. She's scurrying around. She runs to the refrigerator and gets a bag of beans, frozen. Comes out, puts it on. It felt good. But it wasn't on there long enough to do what happened. Right in front of my eyes, in front of my wife's eyes too. And God always gives you a way out. It was the bag of ice that did that. You could say that. But that foot was broke. I saw my wife's foot. I saw it when it was broken. I knew it was broke. And I called the ambulance. She says, no, it's just not a joint or something. No, I said, it's broke. I know a broken foot when I see one. I learned how to wrap hands and bandage and all that stuff. I was an athletic instructor, and I had junior college training doing all that stuff. So I know about bones. I used to know all the names of them too, but I haven't done that in a long time. I could have been New York Giants. I could have been the therapist for the New York Giants or something like that. You know, nursing their wounds, trying to help them out. I got a lot of good ideas too. I got some tapes I'm going to make too about stretching. You got to stretch when you're old. If you don't, you'll just shrivel up back into the embryo stage. Goodbye, bye. You freeze right up and just die, like a heart attack. You don't get up out of bed. You don't force yourself. Oh, when I retire, I'm just going to lay around with a bowl of ice cream. Oh, yeah, well, you ain't going to lay around long with a bowl of ice cream. Not very long. I guess the 5-year expectancy to Florida, that's what it is there. Buddy moves to Florida. Well, I moved down there 20 years ago. What are you talking about? I'm talking about everybody. What's the average lifespan for people moving into Florida that are retired? 5 years. And that was back in the 70s. I don't know what it is now. And if there's more, they estimated 750 families moving into Florida a week. A week. And they were moving in 200,000 houses, wells down in the ground. And all of a sudden, everybody's, what's this water? Their water's all brackish because they sucked all the water out of the ground, and ocean flush seeps in through the sand on top of the water table. Because the water table, ocean, water table, land, water table like it. People move in, they suck the water out. And what happens? Here's the ocean. It sucks in on top, in through the sand. You think, well, if it sucks in through the sand, won't it be filtered? Yeah, it's filtered. It's probably clean. Everything, but it tastes like salt. They can't get all the salt out of it. And that's their problem down in Florida. And I'm telling you right now, and I'm an environmentalist, and I did the first nuclear power plant research. I got an A for it too. Well, I know about environments, ecosystems, and I know about what's happening in Florida. Florida's aquifer. Aquifer means filtered water from the rain. All your swamps, everything, all filtered down in the ground. So the most beautiful springs are down there, and you can float. Weeki Wachee was one of them. Crystal River is another one. I used to float down through that with a binocular. I'm with a snorkel, mask and snorkel, my fins, everything. Man, what a different world that is. I was a spearfisherman too. Spearfish. I got stories about that I'm going to tell. Oh, I got some really good ones too. The time I came up to the boat out in the middle of the ocean, and the boat was gone. The boat was gone. No other things around. Just sky, clouds, and the ocean. And you floating in it and looking around for your boat. Well, what happened was we didn't realize it, but the tide came in. We had our anchor in. We were anchored. The tide came in. Raised the boat up, anchored. Let loose. Off it went with the current. So I'm with two guys. I'm with this new Florida State spearfishing champion, Ted and Mike. And they were a team. They were the Florida State champion spearfishermen. And they lived next door to me. I got to be friends with them. And the whole story about that. I got story after story after story. I'm out there in the middle of the ocean and they come up and, where's the boat? Oh, I don't know, man. What happened? Oh, the one guy that was experienced says, oh, the tide came in. I didn't want to stay out here this long, but man, the fishing's so good. They're all over the place. I lost track. So the tide came in, it's coming in, raised the boat up, and the current took the boat. So the immediate thought about the guy who was experienced, he says, relax, he says, go with the current. I says, oh boy. So I relaxed. I got a great big spear gun too. Man. So I relaxed. I went with the current. And my one guy, Ted, he was really in good shape too. He could hold his breath. I don't know how he did it. He smoked cigarettes. So, but he could hold his breath and go down 100 feet, come back up. That's tough to do because I go down 40 and I can't take the pressure on my ears. The pressure gets your ears. And if you like that a little bit, equalizes everything. So you're okay. Then you spit in your goggles so they don't fog up. Nice big honker. Put it in there, rub it around, wash it out, put it back on. They don't fog up for some reason. I don't know what it is, but probably oils in your body or something. But anyways, we're out there floating in the middle of the ocean, not knowing where the boat is. And off in the distance, I would say an estimated 10 miles easy that you can see. As far as you can see, right just before the horizon, there's this big boat, and it's a gambling casino. And there's boats going. There's boats going back and forth all day long to that big boat, gambling boat. And they're gambling out there because they don't have gambling in Florida, so they go out beyond 12 miles and fair territory. So they got a big ship out there, and they're all the big rich people with the big yachts. And, they all make a stop there, and they spend some of their hard-earned money, I guess. I'd love to have some of that money for Kenya. We're putting the water wells alongside the river, so the little babies, when they go out in the middle of the river to get their water, 5-gallon bucket, crocodile, not a gator, a crocodile, which is twice as big as a gator. And we're talking 22, 23, 24, 25 feet long. That's longer than my truck. And they weigh more than my truck. I got a Ford Ranger. It's a little one single cab. These things are calculators. They sit there and they're saying, I gotta eat. How am I gonna eat? Where's my next dinner? And they're staring around. And they calculate how they're gonna sneak up on you. And they watch you. Maybe a week, maybe a month. And then they know what time you're going to come and get the bucket of water, and they float over and then go down. And they wait. They can hold their breath a long time. And here comes little Joey out in the meadow. He got his water for Mom so she can do things around the house. I mean, I saw pictures of it and all that. There's turds floating in that river. There's a lot of game living on that river. That's Africa. That's their source, their water source. And these crocs are huge, and they wait for the herds to come over, and they grab one. They're in the system, so they're protected. So if they grab a child, which they're grabbing 100 of them a year on the average, 100 little babies. Well, better than 55 million, I guess. I don't want to get into that. But there's nothing they can do. Little Joey's got his bucket and the gator got him. And little Joey's now screaming back to his sister. Help, help. Help, somebody help me. And the gator's tossing him around and shaking him, twirling in the air. I got this little child. And his sister goes running back to the mud hut they live in. River people. Mommy, the crocodile's got Joey. Screaming out of the house, running down the river. And all she can do is stand and watch. down goes the gator. And this happens 100 times a year on the average. So I just have this desire. I want to put water wells, shallow water wells, because in their village it's 400 feet down to get the water. They don't have money to buy a loaf of bread. So they got to go to the river. They're subject. They got to go to the river. They're river people. They live in mud huts and all that stuff. That's the way they live. That's their culture. And his father, Kenya, the priest, Kenya, his name is Father James Kariuki. He's got a foundation. You can donate to it. He'd appreciate it because they're dirt poor. Really, really dirt poor. I mean, if you look for a place that you want to build up indulgences, build up a treasure in heaven, and you want to give some of your money, call that charity down there. Father James, he's a Catholic priest. And he don't discriminate. You can be any religion, he'll help you. So, get back to the story. Mommy's looking, crying, all the agony. You imagine going through that for the rest of your life, watching your child be eaten by a crocodile. And I relate it all back to God. God is watching. He's watching that narcissistic, non-empathetic doctor come in with his stethoscope around his neck. Checking. Okay, oh yeah, it's working. Okay, I can get that. There he goes in. There's a leg. And the two nurses are looking. He's putting a quivering leg in the pile. Get another, get the arm, puts it in the pile. And the nurses are going, what's that sound? What's the sound? What's going on? And they get closer and they listen. And it's the baby in the womb crying. As it's in pain, you just took his arm off and his leg off. And God gave it a conception, a soul, and then a guardian angel. And you just took its leg and arm off. And when it started crying, you took his head off and put it in the pile. Said, okay, get the riffraff out of here. Next, who's the next one? Bring him in. All for that. And all that, you don't have a conscience at all. How did he make it through anything? How could he be smart and not have a conscience, not be empathetic towards people? And I say, God, I said, oh, 100 a year down in Kenya, I can help out, I hope. But 55 million children are being aborted or have been aborted since abortion. And we don't even know before that, but 55 million people have been aborted. How many people would have been saints out of 55 million? Well, they're all saints now because God don't let that go to waste. He don't make junk. He gave you a soul. You are designated as a martyr. And you get to come into heaven. We don't understand what we're doing. God's the creator. He made it all. Look at life. People, wake up. Get out of here. Get out of here. Daydream. Forget about the lusts of the world and follow Christ. Confess your sins. receive his body and blood. He said in John 6:30 through 58, unless you eat my body and drink my blood 3 times, he said, you have no life within you. Not everybody that says, Lord, Lord, will be saved. You've got to do what Jesus said to do. And there it is. Receive his body and blood, soul and divinity in Eucharist. He's not in Eucharist. Eucharist has become Jesus. Jesus. Shekinah. Shekinah. Breathe it out. The Ruah of the Shekinah, which is the true presence. Jesus in Eucharist. Right there, people. I got a little spat. The priest will give me communion. I'm in a wheelchair and I want to have communion. They were giving me communion at first. They were giving me communion to bring home. And then I put it on the internet that I go to Mass on TV and I receive communion at home because I'm an invalid. I'm in a wheelchair. I can't make it to church. So the priest stepped down and gave me enough Eucharist. But what happened was I put it on video. And somebody saw it, went back to the priest and said what I was doing. And they didn't approve of it. They're the old type, put your head down and don't look around anybody. You're in church. And they told Father and disapproved of it. And I went to Mass like I always do. I went up and I put my picks on where I always do. And after the Mass, I went back to receiving the body, and I went back up to get my picks off the altar. Open it up. Nothing in it. This had never happened before. Priest never did this to me before. And I said, I was in the back of the church. There was a bunch of women back there. They were laughing, having a good time. Father, he likes to socialize. He's a good-hearted person. I like him. I think he's okay. 40 years as a priest. I back that, sure. But I saw him and I waved over and said, Father, would you come here, please? He was talking to the women and he was having a good time. And he told them, I'll be right back. I've got to lock the church up. So he took off and he walked up. He knew what was going on. He knew there was going to be a fight. He thought, probably. He's going to be steaming mad. Because when I first met him, I got steaming mad at him. I donated a big chunk of change. Big chunk of change. Over $1,000. When I came back to the church, I was up and I came into the church and he was there. And the whole staff had changed. Father Brigandi was in there when I was there, when I was going through my God in my corner stuff back in the early 1970s. And I was little by little, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. I was growing and growing and growing. And I left and went on down to Florida for about 8 years. Came back, 1980, built a house. I bought a trailer in the property and then I dug a hole in the back with a pick and shovel, wheelbarrow, big enough to build a 34 by 32 raised range. And that's where I'm living now. This is the dining room, living room type atmosphere. I'm using it as a studio right now because I'm in the process. I've just finished off my back deck. And I'm putting a footer under it. concrete block with a concrete footer, 3 feet down. I got it all dug out. I had it done last fall. And I'm going to put a block wall up and I'm going to support it. And it's a foundation now. It's not 4 6x6s in the ground anymore. It's a foundation. And then on top of that is my wood shop. And I don't have to have ventilation in my wood shop because my wood shop I don't use in the winter time, but I'm going to figure out a way to do it. And I'll have to have ventilation and do different things. But right now, the boards on my deck are 6-inch, 5/4 by 6-inch, pressure treated, and they're spaced. And over the time they dried, and they went from that, they got wider. Right? So now whenever I saw something or I do anything, and it's all dirt down underneath the deck, and whenever I saw something, I don't have to sweep or nothing. I just kick it around, it goes down through the deck. And I don't have to have ventilation because it's all screen. Everything's screen. The only thing I gotta do is fix the roof. I was too heavy. I was getting kind of like I shouldn't be up on a roof feeling last year. So this year I've lost a lot of weight. I lost 125 pounds. 353, and I was on the scale this morning at 235. What is that? I've gained some weight, maybe. I don't know, but I'm back on my program. I just got back on. I was reinstated into my liquid marijuana through the state of New York. And what they do is they give you this, instead of smoking or anything like that, it's a medicine. I got oils that go along with it, 3 different types of CBD oils and all that. And I'm taking it. And it's helping me. And I am out of the wheelchair. I was in the wheelchair. And I got back on this program because I was on it a couple years ago. I let it expire because I was new. I don't need that. It's legal now. I don't need it. But the thing is that it's a New York State, and it's all monitored through liquid marijuana. You just can't go get liquid marijuana anywhere that I know of. People can make it. Well, I don't know I ever tried to do that, but I'm not into it like that. I'm too old to do all this stuff. All kinds of stuff I want to make. I want to make a log cabin at home underground. Never have to worry about insulation with something like that. And it will last your lifetime before the logs rot, for sure. And it might be a little moist down here, but you got a nice stove you made. It only takes a little heater, a little 2-foot by 2-foot brick made. Put wood in it. Heat the whole place all winter long. A couple pieces of wood in there. Just heat the area out and it stays like that. It's like, you know, if you're out in the snow and it's cold and everything, dig a hole. Because it doesn't go below 30 degrees or whatever it is under the snow. It doesn't cave down on you. I don't know. I'm going to go in. I got off track. Where was I? I don't know. But I'm going to get back to this. I've got music to play. I'm going to use a different version that's been on here. I just made it. It's brand new. I dubbed it in over another tape that I discovered. I've made so many of them, I've forgotten the ones I made. I've made so many of them. And I've never sang the song the same each time I sing it. One song's got harmonica in it, another song has lead guitar in it, another song has bongos in it. You know, to keep the beat, harmonica, my voice. I'm dubbing my voice over my voice. In other words, there's 3 of me in there singing. I'm not insinuating anything. There's 3 of me in there singing. Jesus. I surrendered to Jesus. He took over. And he took my amateur skills. Listen, I'm going to do it right in front of you. I'm going to ask the Holy Spirit to come in and make things so you can listen to it and say, wow, that is ambient for sure. Holy ambient. That's what I'm looking for. Holy ambiency in my songs. I play the 12 string. I brush that. And sometimes I put a pickup on it. But I brush it mostly. I play when I play. I brush the 12 string. All the chords are beautiful. Oh, that 12 string. Oh, yeah, I've got a tape on here that I did a lead with the 12 string. Boy, you got to hear that one. Woo! Knock your socks off. I didn't know I could do that stuff. I hung the guitar up 23 years ago when my wife had her hysterectomy. I just hung them up. And that's it, I'm done. She was done. She was burned out too. 30 years in ministry. 30 years. And they don't pay minimum wage. But we gave it to God. And now God in our old age is coming and giving it back to us in spirit. She's my God sent from a prayer. I was 15 years old. I just want somebody to love God. I don't want to be a priest. I couldn't be celibate, I told him. I was talking to him about being a priest when I was 14 years old. But the world, and not being from a family that was, I don't know, my dad tried the best he could. He had an 8th grade education and he was a mechanic in a gas station, making $60 a week. He's got 5 kids. What's he gonna do? He's gonna go out and get drunk on the weekends because it's driving him crazy, all the pressure. And so, at least he didn't do it during the week. He went and worked. On the weekend, forget it. I'm gone. He's gone. And he'd come home and there'd be a fight. And good God, you wouldn't believe what we went through. My mother, she's a living saint. She went from being drugged down the street in her hometown in Duluth, Minnesota, in the Swedish area of the town where the church was. They had the money. She wanted to go to church. And he says, no, they're Swedes. They live live in those hot houses, and they jump out of the hot houses in the snowbank backing out. They're cold people. These people that lived in this area, I'm not saying all Swedes are like that, but back then, we're talking about way back in the 1930s. Mixed culture back then. No, you're not coming to our church. My wife witnessed this too. She knows the story. But my mother wanted to go to church, receive communion and everything, and she showed up to church, and they stopped her right out in front, whoever it was. Probably just a couple guys like it always is. A couple guys rabble-rising. There wasn't anybody screaming, crucify him, until 3 guys started, crucify him, crucify him. And everybody started joining in and started a chant, crucify him. We that easy? No, anyways, my mother wants to go into church. No, you're not coming in here. Now, she's dark-skinned. My mother's Italian, Italy. And she's got a little French in her. That's a story. She's got a little French nobility in her. Great-great-grandmother was in love with a French nobleman, and they couldn't marry because he was nobility. She was a peasant. Well, they had a child, and that's where I come from. But back then, Common law marriage should have been, if it was in today's world. But she had the baby. It was my grandmother. And she had a voice that could sing like an angel. We were Jewish. I was Jewish. My whole family was Jewish. French nobility, the Jewish Mary Magdalene came over to France. She got into the French government nobility, and that's how the genealogy went down. I'm not documented because I'm illegitimate, I guess. I'm a peasant child. I'm not a nobility child. God don't see it that way. I mean, if he saw it that way, what about all the hordes that came down over Germany and all those countries in there came down from the north? They were pagans. Pagans, they didn't believe in anything but kill, rape, pillage. And what was disgusting to them was they sent scouts into the villages before they went in because they wanted to calculate how much it would take, how much force it would take to conquer. And they'd send them in there and they'd scout everything out and they'd come back. And the captain would go, "What are they doing in there?" And he goes, "Oh, they're typical European." He says, "Are they making love with their faces?" "Oh, yeah, rapidly." Really? Just like Sodom and Gomorrah when they all came to the door and Lot had angels inside and they knew he was there, two beautiful angels in there, and they came up and pounded on the door and they said, "We know you got two men in there. Bring them out. We want to know them." Well, they got to know. After the fire and brimstone came down and destroyed everything, and they were sitting in hell, they could look up and see who they wanted to know. Because the two angels would be standing over all of them with the vengeance. You don't go against God's law. You go against God's law, and it's war. You let our country declare war on God. Take our laws, make them against his. Thou shalt not kill. That covers everything, doesn't it? Thou shalt not kill. So what happened to all the hordes? They raped everybody. Did they kill all the babies that were made after they raped them? No. You're probably sitting there, you're probably one of their babies. So this stuff about, oh, we gotta take and end the riffraff in the United States. People are just having babies and then giving them to the government and we gotta bring them up and blah, 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 blah. Just abort them and save us a lot of money. What happens? We don't have enough people in the United States, so they're letting in everybody. Everybody and their brother. They're letting them all in because we don't have anybody to work in the fields. Who's going to pick? That's not a college graduate job. I tried it. I tried to pick oranges after I graduated college. I was so stupid. I was being laughed at. They let me go in the orange grove. I started shaking the trees. Chock, all the insecticides, everything coming off the trees. The air is full of insecticide. Because I shook the trees to get the oranges off so we go around and pick them up. We had to fill up a whole 4x4 container with oranges for $6. And I made $80 or something like that at the end of the day. He's a young college kid. I did it because I wanted to try it. You know, college graduated. I needed some money. It was getting around time to head up north. Oh, it was in the fall. We picked orange picking time, whenever that. So I learned how, we need people in the United States pick the fruit, not to turn into fruit. We need them to pick it. You'll see in my films what I talk about molestations, the children. If you molest a child, you might as well, if you're in a boat, you might as well just jump off the side of the boat in the deepest part of the ocean with a millstone tied to your neck, because the punishment you're going to get if you corrupt a child in front of God in his eyes and don't repent and ask and have remorse. I'm sorry, God. I understand. You don't do that, you're a hopeless case. Hopeless case. Unless you pray real hard for that person. He goes, God, he doesn't mind us loving each other. My wife and I, 25 years we've been here together, celibate. We love each other. I kiss her. I take her to the doctors. I take her to the grocery store. I supply for her. I build her stuff out of my wood shop. I treat her like she's a queen. God loves that. And we are married in the church as a sacramental marriage. 53 years ago. 58 years ago I met her. 15 in swimming pool. Introduced by an old girlfriend. Old girlfriend says, hey, come on over here. I want to introduce somebody. She knew her personality. She knew my personality. She thought they would make out pretty good. And she was right. I fell in love right off the bat. I heard the voice say, that's the woman you're going to marry. And I just met her that same day. And what happened? I married her. Life, man, I can't sit here and tell you about my life. You've got your life. I've got my life. And then there's little kids that haven't lived their life yet. That are curious. They want to find out what other people experienced in their lifetime. Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I experienced life with Jesus because I let him come in when I was real young, 21. I mean, I had my moments with Jesus before I was 21. I had a lot of religious experiences and stuff with him. I even had a desire before I met my wife to be a priest. I just knew I couldn't do the celibacy. I should have been Eastern Rite or something. They can marry, they can be a priest. But their rituals are too long. My goodness, I've been to them 2 hours. Way too long for me. But, I mean, they're close with God, so 2 hours to them is, at the time I'm talking about. Now, 2 hours, I'll do that making a video for Jesus. I'm not making any money. Everything's gonna go not through me. I don't want nothing to do with any money. I'm just here supplying the talent. I'm the card draw. When I fought the Navy champion, I beat him. They gave the decision to him. They knew darn well I beat him. They came in after the fight and told me that. But he was the card draw. People came and watched the fights because the champion, Navy champion, was going to be fighting. And usually he could tee off on whoever they stuck in the ring with him. One punch knockout. They found me. And it was an open tournament. So I went on, signed it, and I jumped in the ring with the Navy champion. And I decided I wasn't going to try to kill him. I probably could have too, because he wasn't that big, as far as I was concerned. I fight heavyweights all the time. I'm a middleweight. I hit as hard as heavyweight though. One of my films, I'm 73 years old, I show you my arm. That's not even half as big as it was when I was a middleweight. I was bulging muscle. I hit you and you went down and you didn't get back up. And I have been hit that hard also, so I know what it feels like. You have to hate to hit that hard. And when I came out of the service, I hated everything. I got a raw deal. Agent Orange screwed me up royally. My wife and I tried to have a baby when I came back from Vietnam. And we broke out in a rash. We were allergic to each other. I says, what did you do? Did you cheat on me? Get some type of disease? What the heck do I got? It's all over me. No, the doctors. I'm talking to my doctor. The doctor says, no, you've developed an allergic reaction to me. Well, a few months went by and she has so much problems down there. She had to have it checked out, and they said, oh, well, you got a growth in your uterus. So we're going to have to take it out. It's not alive. It's a tumor, they said. 6-pound tumor? I don't know. You tell me. I had a baby, blah. Agent Orange, thank you. Collateral damage sitting here whining. Hey, you got any cheese to go along with that wine? God takes care of me. Hey, all that stuff happened. I wasn't even walking with you. As close as I am now, I was just trying to get on the wagon. Hey, slow down, you guys. Want to jump up there with you? How come everybody's got long noses and big ears? I jumped on the Pinocchio wagon, right? I was jumping off of it. That's what I did. That's how I got away from all that stuff. I jumped off of it, went to service, got married, went to college. Amazed. Nobody knows anything. I've been back here in Binghamton now since 1980. Everybody thinks I'm still living in Florida. Nobody knows I'm back. Few people do. But the word doesn't go around like you think, you know. You think you're popular, you're the most popular kid in the area. Nobody knows me. Who knows me? Just people that lived way back in the 1950s. Mike Nixon and Bill Nixon were running the streets, knocking everybody out. Oh, goodness. And we could have got our butts pulverized too, but we were sneaky. Meek as a dog, and cunning as a snake. In and out. But I didn't start them. I never started them. They always came after me for my title or something. I don't know what type of a title you have when you're a teenager. But you have a reputation of fighting and being tough, and everybody wants to show everybody that you're tougher than you. You know, one fight after another fight. I had more fights just to show that I was tough than I had in the ring. Sparring too. Every day I used to spar as a pro. I just wasn't a pro, but I sparred all the pros. I went into the gym. I was just thought of as a pro, as an amateur turning pro. So everybody sparred with me. And I stayed in there with them too. And there were some good fighters, but well conditioned, way above me. I was only trained to go 3 2-minute rounds. And I knew what I had to do to get in that shape, and I could do it with no problem at all. And be fast and move and everything. But when you gotta go 10 3-minute rounds, that's a half an hour compared to, 6 minutes. You gotta keep punching it. And my brother reached that level. My brother Mike, he turned pro, and he started running with the deer up in the mountains. Went away to training camps, got super shape. Come back, started knocking everybody out. I think he had 13 knockouts in a row. California, Glendale. They even had Mike Nixon Day in Glendale, California. Those are old thoughts, old dreams. Nobody knows that. Nobody really cares. Except for those that went through it, maybe relatives, maybe some friends. But we're all legends in our own mind. We lived our life, and that's how we lived it. God knows that. God's so omnipotent. He has a face-to-face relationship with everybody. He's capable. There's not enough human beings for God. He wanted there to be more human beings to make it happen. But the chess game that's going on, and I call it a chess game. I do. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not wrong. I look at it. In reality, if it was a real chess game, Lucifer could have moved to his middle pawn, center pawn, 2 steps forward. And God would stand back and he'd checkmate in 13 moves. And I got to see that. And we all know how they came out. He could have done it in 12, but he did it in 13 because he said he was going to do it in 13. Omnipotent God, aware of a sparrow flying through the woods. Some woods somewhere, aware of it. And the sparrow's genealogy. Where did that sparrow come from? He knows everything. He's everywhere. I remember I prayed to him and said, God, what's your name? And I heard from Scripture and all that, I am who am. But when I asked him that, I heard the prayer answer. I am who am, and I am everywhere. If Jesus is sitting at the right hand of God, that means that Jesus is everywhere. Doesn't it prove to you who Jesus is? The Holy Spirit is the love between the Father and the Son. Became an entity. A part of the Holy Trinity. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. She was a spouse of the Blessed Mother. He shadowed the Blessed Mother, and she conceived the Son, Emmanuel. You can look up what Emmanuel means. I'm going to leave that as a homework. I'm a school teacher. I got do all the work. I'm not going to give you all the ideas. I want some ideas from you. Oh, I had some times when God was there in my corner. I was in His corner. If I were to write the newspaper article back, the newspaper article says God in my corner, 1971. You can probably check it up if you know how to use the press. You can check up Bill Nixon wins the Golden Gloves. He's God's in his corner. What's the name of the article they did? And I come back 50 years later, and here I am telling you how God was in my corner. I'm a prophet in my hometown, which is no prophets in a hometown, but I'm a hermit. Nobody knows I'm here. I am a hermit. I have 8-foot friends going around this place. Everything I do is private. My wife and I, she's a hermitess, and I'm a hermit. And we live together. And that's what I was saying about homosexuals. There's nothing wrong with you living together and loving each other and taking care of each other and being in love. But you can't stick your tongue down your sex partner's mouth. That's lust. Oh, well, we won't stick our tongues down each other's throat anymore. It's a metaphor. I'm trying to make a point here. God gave the sexual drive to humanity strong. Some men could take it, some men couldn't. And the ones that could, they're old men now, preaching the word of God. It's a lot to be a father, have children, work the job every day. Who has time for God? The ones that do find time, they're the ones that are enjoying the fruits of their labor. You gotta be close to Jesus by confessing your sins, receiving His body and blood, soul and divinity, the Shekinah. However you want to say it, potato, Ruach, Jewish, Hebrew. I was so surprised to find out that I come from a Jewish background. From my ancestry from the French. My great-great-grandmother was Jewish. She sang in a synagogue. She was a singer. I don't know. I don't even know if they allow women to sing in synagogue. Where did she sing? I don't know. Maybe she sang in churches on the side or something, just so she could sing. Who knows what she did, but she wanted to come to America so bad. Oh, I want to go to America. I want to be a singer. And her father was a French nobleman, and he shunned her all the time. He wouldn't give her 2 cents. He looked the other way when she came around because he was embarrassed that his child would show up at a banquet, and everybody know that that's his child, illegitimate child. So she showed up at a banquet, a big get-together. Not a banquet, I'm just calling it a banquet, but a big get-together. And she screamed at my great-great-grandfather. He says, okay, I'll let you go. I'll pay for you to go over. So he raised the money. She got on the ship, and off she went. United States of America. I pulled in Duluth, Minnesota. And there was a little Italian guy on the dock waiting for her. And the little Italian, back then, did it this way. You wanted a wife, you bought one. Oh, my great grandfather sold my mother to a little Italian guy, Monteleone. He had some tough blood in them. They were marked as Cape Warriors, Monteleones, the mountain lion. And that's where I come from. I come from the Monteleone. I don't know why it doesn't stick in my head, my mother's maiden name. I gotta find that out. She passes on before I find out. She told me before I wrote it down, lost it. Maybe I'll come across it when I go through my notes one of these days. I've got notebooks after notebook after notebook full of notes. Things I thought, things I prayed, things I did, schedule, how I kept my blood, all that stuff. I got it all documented. But it's all over the place. You want to see organized chaos? Take a look at my notebooks. You'll never figure them out. Here I am. I'm going to talk. I'm getting all these notifications. Oh, now I lost it. Oh, don't tell me I lost it. Oh, good. I got to sing my song. All right. Well, I might try a lead or two on the guitar, but I can't find my tuner, and I can tune by ear, so I'll tune it by ear the best I can. Let me see where we're at. Only thing is when I get to the E, I just have to go with my E. I'm getting lost. All right, well, that's as close as I'm going to get. I hope I didn't bore anybody, but I get by my tuner. I'm going to do it by ear. I'm not used to that. Plus, I don't have any music in front of me. I'm doing everything by memory. It's getting too hot in here. I think I'm going to go back to my other character. What character do I want to go back to? I don't know. I'm not Gabby. You want me to go back to Gabby? I'm a gold digger. I go out and look for gold. I've been out in the mountains and in the deserts and everything. I found a gold. I found this treasure. Oh my goodness. But it's not made of gold. is divine. My treasure is divine. My treasure is the most precious treasure in the universe. Christ crucified, died, buried, risen from the dead, and now sits at the right hand of God as King of all creation. That's my treasure I found. Oh, I looked every place for gold. I found some. I didn't hit the jackpot. I hit the jackpot when I found Jesus. And when I found Jesus, I was praying to his mother with the rosary. And she brings me to the foot of the cross and pleads for me. We're not only because we will it so. God is the one that wills us to be holy. He wants us to ask. He already knows we want to be, but he wants to hear us. He wants dialogue with us. He wants to hear us say, God, give me the Holy Spirit, please. And then he'll say to you, I remember back when you asked for the Holy Spirit. God is, and we are. So therefore, I am because I think, and I love, and I praise God forever. You find your treasure, I hope you do. But this video got too long. I've got to end it. I'm going to do the next one. You'll see. All you have to do is just tune in to me and just go on to the next one. Next one's just not going to be yakking. I'm just going to take and play the music. I don't know, because if I did it right now, I put it on the internet and people look at it and I ain't listen to something for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I got other things I got to do. I don't want to listen to that stuff. I'm looking for it. The little old people like me ain't got nothing to do. You want to see somebody living in the spirit? Oh, jeepers, I thought I was the only one living in the spirit. Oh, there's another guy. Yeah, he's living in the spirit. Let's see what he's doing. How's God working in his life? And that's the way life is. That's what I tell God. I say, oh my God, I love whoever you send. If you send, I'll love whoever you send. You send them. I can't go out. I've got these beautiful brochures that I'm going to do a ministry with. Here. There they come. At the Y, they used to always say, oh, Nixon must have been here. Why? Because all the brochures would be all over all the benches and everything. Find Jesus. You know, all these little pamphlets. I had them. I used to pass them out. People could tell I was there because they'd see them all over the place. Oh, Nixon must have been here. They knew me back then at the Y because I worked out. That's where I worked out for my fights and stuff. I had a speed bag and a heavy bag and all that. So this is what I'm going to do. I've got a ministry for this right here. It's the Surrender Novena. See it on the bottom? It says the Surrender Novena. And you can't read. It's in Latin, I think. I don't know what writing that is around. I can't read it. I don't know what it is. But I know that the inside of it is Father Delendo Rotello or something. Rotello. He's a prophet of our time, and he talks about this novena, this surrender novena. I prayed it, and I gave it to somebody. A month later, it came back. He says, "Hey, Bill," he says, "you know that novena you gave me?" I said, "Yeah. You know, I prayed that every day since you gave it to me, and I haven't put it down. That's beautiful novena, thank you." I says, "I'm going to start passing that out more. If that's what it's causing people to think. I'll pay the price. I'll pay the piper. I'll go get them. They're not cheap. I think you can get them in a religious shop for a couple bucks a piece." And you open up day 1 to day 9. If you're old, you can do them in 11 days. God doesn't care. That's as long as you do. I got to do this 9 days or it ain't going to work. Come on. God's working. The minute you pick it up and start reading, he's working. You'll see what I'm talking about. He starts right in on it. He doesn't waste any time. He's got a lot to do in a short time. Because how long are you going to live? Who knows? Only God knows. But anyways, like I say, that's the novena. I prayed it. I thought it was really super. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this. I'm not going to shuffle them out like I'm doing cards to everybody. I'm going to be selective. I'm going to find people that I see that are into it. They got a prayer book. They got this and they got that. They're at church and they're devout. And I'm going to approach them with it. Here, you want this novena? I prayed it, and some of my other friends in his church prayed it. They say it's beautiful, one of the best novenas they've ever prayed. You want one? Most of them will say, "Yeah, I'll take one." And I don't know why. Why won't they take one? Just take it. Give it to somebody. But they won't take it because they want to make you hate. Kind of. They think, "I won't take it. I'll make him hate me. I don't want to do what he wants. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. He'll hate me." That's what the demons are thinking. Now you get somebody who says, "No, no, no." So he can start hating. You hate somebody because they don't take something from you. Yeah. Not in my age. I'm praying for you. Even harder. As a matter of fact, I tell them, "Oh, well, thank you, because if you don't take it, I get double indulgence." I'm not putting anything back on anybody, but I'm just saying that's what I would do. I haven't done it yet. That's what my mind says. So anyways, I got packs of them. I think there's 10 in a pack, 15 in a pack, something like that. I ordered them. And what's going to go along with this is I'm going to have the miraculous medal along with this. And I think I can show you the package right now. It's just a short hop skip. Oh, God. Oh, I got to get up and stretch. Can't move around. I'll bring them by down here. Okay, here we go. Oh, man, I've got a program here. Wait till you see this. My uncle Sam Monteleone. He's got a white streak in his hair. My mother had the same thing. That whole family had that white streak in their hair. I just turned all white. I don't know. I had an Irish in me. My father was all white Irishman. And that little French guy. Somebody ought to poke him in. Sneak it in there. Who knows? So, here I am, Jewish. I was Jewish at one time. Now I'm My whole family was Jewish. Sang in the synagogues, I guess, if they allowed you to sing back then. How did they know that she had a beautiful voice if they didn't allow you to sing in the synagogues? Did they sing in synagogues? I've never been to one. Here I am, Jewish ancestry. I've never been in a synagogue. No one's ever invited me. I had a Jewish family when I was young. I was 15, 14, something like that. Just before Jesus came into my life. And he was a good friend. When I got him, somebody put us in front of each other to fight. He was Jewish. And I looked at him, we're fighting, dazzling around him. And I looked at him, just like I used to do to all my friends, because they became my good friends after I fought them for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's the way I said it, you know. I said, you know what? I'd rather be your friend than punch you out. And they go, oh, me too. That's how this Jewish guy that I was friends with, that's how we became friends. A group of people got us, you know, they even drove us, hunted the guy down till they found him and threw me in the ring with him. It was a front yard. They were all, hey, we watched this. Because the other guy was known for fighting too, you know. In fact, he became a boxer. No, I mean, he was a big wig. He was a college graduate and he had a big job with electric company, I think. Nice singer, maybe. I don't know. He was so valuable that he quit and they wanted him to come back part-time to do different things, you know, because they were lost. Then they got the computers, and I guess now I don't know if he's still alive. I should go around and check out. I say to him, hey, guess what I found out? What's that? I'm Jewish. I'm a converted Jew. And I lived with you. Because that's what happened. I was like 15 years old. Football, we were all playing football and going to high school together and all that stuff. It was the summertime. And he convinced his mother, hey, take Bill in, we'll give him that extra bed. Take him in, and we can hang out, and we can be friends and stuff. Because I was having problems in my house. Hard to bring up 5 kids at $60 a week, you know. So they took me in for the summer. His father tried to put me to work real fast, but my buddy wouldn't let his dad do that. No, he's here. Don't make him work to be here. I don't know why I never became good friends with that friend in my life at that time. I should have been my best friend, really. The way we met, the way we were brought up together. But he was cantankerous a little bit too, as well as I am. We didn't put up with each other. You know, I wouldn't put up with his, and he wouldn't put up with mine. So we decided, rather than to duke it out again, we hit the road. He went his way, and I went my way. And he says, the luck of the draw. He got married. And I guess he had problems. He just told me, it's the luck of the draw. Don't tell me it isn't the luck of the draw. Whatever. Oh, God. I've got stories about that, but I just can't share them. I just can't share some of them. Just that they insinuate things about other people. And I don't want anybody to go back and tell the priest what I'm doing. And then the priest says, the reason why he didn't put Eucharist in my pics was I was at Mass, I was trying to get, I was in a wheelchair, part-time, off and on, and real bad. But my wife was in bed with a broken leg, broken foot. I'm getting Eucharist, I'm bringing it back. You know, we had it, Father, I says, we'd like to go to Mass during the week, and we could have, I think I could fit 12 Eucharists in my pics, kind of big one. I got it around here somewhere. But it's in that bag right here. there is Eucharist in that bag right there. But I haven't gone back to get any more. After the priest told me, your house is not a tabernacle. The church is the tabernacle. I says, yeah, but Father, I'm a cripple. I want to go to Mass during the week. And I have a beautiful place to put the Eucharist in the arms of the Infant of Prague. Has been in more Masses than you could ever imagine. That Infant of Prague was in a Mass at St. Cyril's. And how many times they have a Mass during the day, funerals, weekends? That statue was in that Mass. Being blessed and blessed and blessed and blessed. And when it time to rejuvenate and renovate the church, sell the school and turn it into an old folks home, and sell the convent, turn that into some drug rehab center or whatever it was. Close the bowling alleys. There was a wealthy church. There was a lot of people went to that church. My wife serviced them all for 30 years for minimum wage. That was a tough job. And we did it for God. Now it's the end of her life. She wants her privacy. She wants a nice little place where she can make it just what she wants. She wants a nice little office. And I gave it all to her. I moved right out of the whole environment. I moved downstairs. We don't need any conjugal relationship. No, I could have my own bedroom and she could have hers. All we have to do is love each other, right? That's why I'm telling homosexuals, you can love each other. God says that's what we're going to be in heaven. We're going to love each other. We're going to love each other, not lust each other. I'm not complaining about how you feel about another human being. I'm not condemning it either. You can be madly in love with the person you're with. God says no sex. He doesn't mind if you live together and love each other and be with each other, comfort each other. No one will enter the gates of heaven with even the stain of sin on their soul. Because it can bloom again if you think about it. And Jesus said, if you sin in your heart, you might as well have done it in the flesh. Might as well have done it in the flesh. It's the same thing. It's the same desire. But one you acted out, and the other one you fantasized it out in your dreams. You're supposed to tell the dreams to take off. Think about something else. Don't be thinking about your past sin that you've been forgiven of. You've been gone to confession, but the stain still remains. And what removes the stain is pain. Pain removes the stain. God made it right. I'm going to hand out this along with that card I was showing you earlier. It has the miraculous medal in it. No chain. No chain. I had a bad experience because of a chain. I should tell you about it real quick. Holy Mother of God, protect us. But there was a bum out front of the church. I had an old miraculous medal with a chain. I didn't give it a second thought. I just felt that if I gave it to somebody, the least of the least, giving it to God. So I went up to the church, and the beggars are out in front, panhandling money and stuff. I said, oh, I says, hey, I got this medal, miraculous medal. Would you wear it if I gave it to you? And he's looking at me, and I got the chain in my hand, in my mind. He says, oh, put it on my head. And I go, wow. I put it on his head. And he just went into his, not, jubilation, or anything. He was feeling happy, I could tell. But I didn't tell why he was feeling happy. Because he was a con artist. He noticed that the chain that was in my hand was $100 chain that I bought way back in the 80s, I think. I've been Miraculous Medal for a lot of years now, 40-some years. And that was my old medal, and it wore through it's kind of like a pewter type covering to it, but underneath it was brass. And it was coming through, so I decided, well, as long as it's turning gold, I'm going to go get a gold one. I got a gold chain, and I had that one, and it was I had it hanging around in the house, over the holy water bottle and stuff, as artifacts or something. My past. Who knows, maybe I'll be a saint, look for artifacts. Save everything, I got all kinds of stuff. Who knows? That would be nice. Everybody has their dreams, you're a legend in your own mind. God's going to make it so you're special. And you are. You're special. Individually special. Because he is so omnipotent. He can be individually special to you back. Padre Pio says, I can jump out of the body and go back to my grandfather's funeral, pray over it. Jesus has been waiting for me to do that. And all of his brothers looking at him and, what? That was 20 years ago, Padre. Why are you crying and praying for somebody who died 20 years ago? He says, with God, there is no time. God's waiting for me to come back, pray over my grandfather's grave. No, he did it. And that's what he used to do all the time. And we can do that. We can think of our past that's bothering us. Go back in time. Be in front of a cross. Be holy. Be confessed and receive communion. And then leave your body and go back to that time where you needed God the most and pray for that time. Because with God there's no time. There is no time. Even though he says in due time, you'll get your answer in due time. But with God there is no time. A man invented time. Pollywog is going up the game looking for a nest. Oh! Got the nest. I'm growing feet. I'm growing arms and legs. What's going on here? Wah, wah. They stick a bottle in your mouth. And you're on your way. God's taking you from Pollywog to sainthood. What a miracle that is going to be for those who find Jesus. I'm going to get interrupted, so that means I'm going to have to shut down. So, my wife's come home. She needs some attention. I need to go pick her. So, God bless you all. I love you. Come, Holy Spirit, kindle us fire of love, Son, forth the Spirit shall be created, you shall renew the face of the earth. O God, did instruct us faithful by light, Holy Spirit, grant us that same Spirit, we truly wise and rejoices consolation. Christ our Lord, amen. Come, Holy Spirit.